Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first podcast of BitFirst. I'm your host, Shravan, a chartered accountant by profession and more than 10 years of experience. Also, a co founder at BitFirst Capital. Today, joining with me is Mr. Amit Mehrotra, who's a client of mine and also a good friend of mine. Welcome, Amit.
Hi, Sean. Thanks for inviting me.
So, can you just give us an introduction?
I'm Amit Raj Mehrotra. I'm an entrepreneur, but I have been a master mariner back in the day. I've got more than 25 years of real work experience, and I guess that's why you've invited me as your first guest.
Yes, totally. So, are you also into investing?
Oh yes, I believe in investing. I do SIPs, I do monthly investments, I do lump sums, I do the whole shebang.
So that's what we are here to discuss today. We are going to talk about mainly the world of investments, but specifically, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. So, first and foremost, I would like to ask, do you know what Bitcoin is?
Of course, I've heard the term Bitcoin. One would have to be living under a rock in today's day and age if one doesn't know.
Hmm.
Of course, we know what Bitcoin is, but we really don't know what Bitcoin is. That's what my problem is.
What I'll do is I'll try to explain Bitcoin to you a little bit. Bitcoin, see, back in 2008, what had happened was that we had seen a major crash in the markets, and a lot of people lost their money during the crash. And one such guy who goes by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto, he decided that he was fed up with the government, he was fed up with the bailouts that were being offered and everything, and decided to create his own currency, which is a digital currency and can be transferred peer to peer. So that is essentially what Bitcoin is. It is a currency that was created. It is powered by blockchain, so that makes it like very, very secure and transparent.
So, Bitcoin is an investment.
So Bitcoin started off as a currency, sir, but now more than a currency, it is, I would call, an investment asset. That is what it has become now. But yeah, in essence, it is a currency. But people are holding it as an investment today.
So, one would compare it to which investment category in that case?
So any investment, like, it is a investment category in cryptocurrencies, sir. So if I would say that, I would say definitely Bitcoin comes in a high risk investment category, that if you're talking from a risk perspective. So just before that, let's understand what kind of investments you are making at present.
Gold has to be there,
Hmm.
silver, little bit, um, SIPs and mutual funds,
Hmm.
once in a while, lump sum in mutual funds, and PMS equities.
Hmm.
That's about it. The usual stuff. Few FDs.
How aware are you what kind of returns that you are making in all these assets? Let's say mutual funds. So what is the return that you're making in mutual funds?
So in equity, I would consider anything 14% or above as a good return. And mutual funds is equity, so same. Uh,
And what, let's say FDs, what are you doing in FD?
FDs, we they are much hated now, but because of the returns, but they still are the safest. 6%, 7% pre-tax.
Correct,
Today's
correct.
rate.
And I know that you love investing in real estate as well. So what returns have you making in real estate?
So I make some small real estate, residential property investments, but that's return on investment is not that great in terms of the rental income. That rental yield is not that great, but it's safe, it's solid, it's there, it's visible.
So tangible, very true. So like you said, it is tangible. You know the value of the asset very clearly. But that is what I wanted to like take you through also. That uh, how, let's, we've discussed what Bitcoin is. It's a currency, but like how and where it is getting its value from. that is also, that is something
That
very
was going to be my exact next question.
correct, correct,
Where
correct.
does it come from? Who decides the value of a Bitcoin?
So when it comes to Bitcoin, sir, it's an, like we discussed, it's an asset now, asset class. So for any asset, whether it is gold, whether it is silver, or whether it is Bitcoin, the way it derives its value is from three main things. One is the supply, or I would say scarcity in this thing, wherein like the total number of Bitcoin that can be mined is capped at 21 million. So at the end of the day, so last Bitcoin that is going to be mined is in 2140. This is already pre-decided. That Bitcoin will be the 21 million Bitcoin, and after that there is not going to be any more Bitcoin that can be created. So that is one thing. So that makes the demand or the supply of Bitcoin inelastic. Whatever you do, there is no going to be no more supply, and the demand may keep on increasing. So that is how Bitcoin, in one aspect, it's deriving its value from demand and supply. Then second thing is the utility of it. So from a utility point of view, it is a currency. So, and it runs on blockchain, so very transparent, very secure. It's not possible for anyone to replace your Bitcoin with a fake Bitcoin. So that is one of the very important things about Bitcoin. The blockchain itself will refuse any new Bitcoin or a fake Bitcoin that you try to insert in the blockchain. So that is one more thing. So the utility is there. So in terms of utility, I would also say that since it's a currency, it is also a fallback option for governments. All governments, let's say the US dollar is collapsing one day. So what do the governments do? How do you think the governments will deal with each other if the US dollar collapses?
So you're actually, from what you have just said, you are comparing Bitcoin to gold. It's like a direct comparison,
Hmm.
right?
Correct.
Is that my understanding is correct in this?
Yes, yes, yes. It is definitely an asset class. But like my question to you is, कल को अगर डॉलर गिर जाता है तो how will India, China, Russia, and the other countries in the world pay each other for the trade?
Gold. That's exactly why I said that, right?
Correct.
And they would use gold, I guess.
तो अगर हम गोल्ड की, लेट्स से आप रशिया हो, मैं इंडिया हूँ, आपने मुझे ऑयल बेचा, तो मैं आपको वो ऑयल का उतना गोल्ड वहाँ पे ट्रांसफ़र कैसे करूँगा सर? द फिजिकल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इट डजंट मेक इट पॉसिबल. I can't every day keep shipping gold to you. You'll send one container of oil, I'll pack gold in that. It's not possible only, right? So that is a very difficult part of
Especially, it depends on who the president of the US is at that moment.
with the current scenario, it is very realistically possible also that the dollar might collapse.
Can
And the world is
make
also moving towards de-dollarization. Every country is now focusing, trying to get into something that is not dollar to trade with other countries. So that is kind of a reality also today. And that is where Bitcoin comes in, sir. It is the fallback option for every country in the world. Like you have Bitcoin, you can just transfer the Bitcoin to that country, do whatever trade you want to do.
I see your point. But what is the legality now? Every country has a different policy on Bitcoin now, from what I know. Singapore has made it completely legal. In Dubai, you have ATMs for Bitcoin also, I've heard.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even shops are accepting Bitcoin. But India ka kya hai?
So very recently, sir, Indian court, Madras High Court, has given asset status to holding of a person that had their holdings in Wazirex. So they have given it a legal status of an asset. Very clearly, the court has itself said. Moreover, Income Tax Act also very clearly defines what cryptocurrencies are. They call it virtual digital assets, and they are very clear. They've inserted a section on how it is supposed to be taxed, and they've said that whatever gains you make out of selling your cryptocurrencies, you have to pay 30% tax on that. You're not allowed to set off loss, which is very unreasonable, I would say. So yeah, but yeah, still whatever gains you make, you are taxed at 30%, clearly defined.
So it's legal, number one.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Now, so with the court saying there is no other directive, right? It has to be.
And the tax hai, that is 30% of the profit, flat.
30% of the profit, but you're not allowed to set off your loss. So let's say you've done 2 trades. In one trade, you made a profit of 100 rupees. In the other trade, you made a loss of 20 rupees. So ideally, if it
Right.
would have been a stock, you would have been able to pay or pay tax on the net gain of 80 rupees. 80 rupees. That is not allowed under
So
cryptocurrencies.
इसमें कैसे होगा exactly?
So VDA they are very clear. You have to pay the tax on the 100 rupees of gain that you make. The loss of 20 cannot be set off. आपको पूरे के ऊपर 30% लगेगा. But वो पूरे के ऊपर 30% भी लगे ना, तो भी बिटकॉइन का पोस्ट टैक्स रिटर्न इज still way higher than any
I
other.
understand that, but जो लॉस हुआ है उस ट्रांजैक्शन में भी 30% लगेगा.
ट्रांजैक्शन में लॉस जो हुआ है वो आपको सेट ऑफ नहीं मिल रहा है सर.
सो उसके ऊपर टैक्स नहीं लग
उसके
रहा है,
ऊपर
जो
tax नहीं
प्रॉफिट है
लग
उस पर 30% लग रहा है.
करेक्ट. एंड पोस्ट टैक्स भी आपका रिटर्न बहुत हाई रहने वाला है. आपका रिटर्न, अब रिटर्न कंपेयर कर लेते हैं. बिटकॉइन का मैं थोड़ा रिटर्न बता देता हूँ आपको क्या है. सो इन द लास्ट विल टेक 3 year, 5 year, 10 year returns for better understanding. Last 3 years CAGR of Bitcoin yearly return is somewhere around 81%. Last 5 years it fallen a little bit. It went down to around 46%. But 10 years return is again 77%. तो 10 साल पहले अगर आप ले लो तो 77% पर ईयर रिटर्न आपको मिल रहा है. ऑब्वियसली 10 साल पहले वो खरीदने में सेंस नहीं था बिकॉज नो वन न्यू अबाउट इट. Very few people knew, so that would have been a very high risk investment obviously. But today, if you look at 3 year return also, 3 years ago you knew what Bitcoin was.
Yes.
Correct. You could have chosen to invest a little bit of your wealth, your net worth in Bitcoin. If you had, you would have made 80% yearly return on that as of today. So that is the kind of return that you're talking about. Post tax भी लगा लो 80% के ऊपर 24% निकलेगा आपका बस. बाकी सिर्फ आपका फिर भी रिटर्न 56% अभी भी है. मोर देन एनी एसेट पॉसिबल. नाउ ऑब्वियसली वो तो दिस इज ऑल हिस्टोरिकल एंड द एसेट हैज मैच्योर्ड नाउ. तो एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम अर्निंग 80% रिटर्न माइट बी डिफिकल्ट, बट स्टिल it will give you a return that is better than most of the assets out there. Like I said, scarce.
Yeah, but what about the security part of it? I mean, you said WazirX court ruling. तो court ruling आया क्यों? There was a problem. I knew a couple of people who lost money.
Correct. So that is what we're trying to solve at BitFirst also. So when we started, we thought कि BitFirst में हम will start taking money from people and provide crypto services to them, PMS services, wherein we like invest on their behalf and make some money for the investor and then take whatever we our commission as a percentage of that earnings. But then when we started doing that and we started planning that, the one thing that constantly kept coming up was which exchange do we keep the money on? I'll take money from you. It has to go to some exchange in order to trade it.
Right.
And make profit out of it. So that is where we were a bit scared because not just WazirX, there have been other hacks also around the world in exchanges, and that is something we were not comfortable with. If I take, let's say, 10 lakhs from you and invest, and the next day some exchange gets hacked and you lose out on all the money, you are not going to go after the exchange. You're going to go after me only, right? You're going to tell me where is my money. I don't care what exchange you put it on. So that kind of became like a risk for us. And that is when we thought that self-custody is more important in crypto than PMS. So that's what we decided to do. We decided to sell Bitcoin, but in a hardware wallet. And it's a wearable wallet also. Let me show it to you. So it's in the form of a ring. Just have a look at it. So basically this and we give you two more cards also along with this. This is how you're going to hold your crypto. This will have the crypto in it.
It reminds me of Lord of the Rings. One ring, two.
Rule them all.
Rule
Is
them
it?
all. Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the product, and the main reason we're doing this is because it's unhackable. For someone to hack this, they would require you to. They will actually require physical access to the ring and the other two cards that we're giving along with it. Plus, they would also need your access code, which is an additional security feature that they will need to access your app and then remove all your holdings. So that is why for any hacker around the world, it doesn't make sense at all. And even if they wanted to, they could, but still on an individual level, they will not. Any hacker that would go and always target a bigger lump sum money that can be easily be taken from an exchange rather than going for individual targets. And what we also wanted to do was we are encouraging investment in Bitcoin only, sir, which is mature cryptocurrency. There is a little less risk as compared to other cryptocurrencies. So what we also thought was that, let's say we give you the ring and the hardware wallet, and we give you, let's say you take a 0.01 BTC, but we still want you to have the option of increasing your holdings. So we're also selling a crypto SIP also in that. We're selling a Bitcoin SIP. You take an SIP monthly, you can keep adding in this itself your holdings.
Sounds very high tech. Is it very tech driven?
It is a very tech driven thing because the wallet essentially is hardware wallet, so it holds the cryptocurrency in it. And although we are not manufacturing it yet, but yeah, we are sourcing it from Switzerland as of now.
Oh,
Yeah.
can I hold it again?
Yeah, sure.
Hopefully, if I wear it, I don't disappear. Don't become invisible.
No,
It's actually very nice.
if only. Yeah, but yeah, that's the main concept that we formed with BitFirst, and that's what we're trying to do, sir. Yeah.
And so it's not an lump sum only. It's also got an option where you can monthly put some money in.
Yeah, you can monthly, you take an SIP from us, which is a monthly investment.
And the prevailing rate is the rate that I would buy it at.
Yeah. So rates are clearly displayed every day. So we have our own website and app. So rates are displayed on that. And once you log in, you'll be able to see your holdings. And every month when the SIP gets triggered, you'll see your increased holding as well as the rates going on that day.
So if I buy it through an ordinary exchange versus if I buy it from you, it's the same, except that I get added security because it's in my possession.
Correct. So our entire thing is that self custody is very important. In even though it's a digital asset, we believe that self custody is important. So when I compare it to gold, you do have the custody of your gold. So when I'm doing that, so you should ideally have the custody of this asset as well.
Does it come at a premium?
No premium, sir. There are only the transaction commission that we are charging
Which any exchange, I guess, would also have.
is also charging, sir. So it is at par with exchanges on. No additional thing in this. So that's how it is. And suppose, let's say, if you want to sell tomorrow, we're always there. We'll buy it off you.
I'm sorry. So you'll buy when I need my money. I just tell you and you sell it off, or
Yes.
do I sell it off?
So you can put a sell order in the app only, and
Really?
then we'll get in touch with you, and we can buy it back from you.
What if I don't share good relations with you after 3 years, Shravan?
So we've been together for 10 years now. You've been a
Anything can
client
happen.
of mine for 10 years now, but and I don't see that happening. But let's say
Me too,
someone
but one must prepare for all eventualities, right?
correct. Why not? Yeah. So in case that does happen, and let's say even BitFirst is non-existent at that point of time, so you can just transfer your holdings to any exchange in India,
Okay.
liquidate over there, and again when you liquidate, you'll have to pay tax on the net gain that you make on the transaction.
So the holding of this ring is a legal, and it's a legal thing in India.
Absolutely, sir. There's nothing wrong with that. You can have. So a few companies are out there making hardware wallets, and you can absolutely hold. There is no law against holding your own cryptocurrencies.
You file my returns, right?
Yes, I do.
How would you, where would you put this? If I have some Bitcoin and the ring, how would you declare it in the IT?
So it is supposed to be declared at 2 points. When you buy it, you have to deduct TDS from R. So we have that option as well. If you decide to pay the TDS, we'll pay it on your behalf. So that is the transaction where the government comes to know that you have possession of the asset.
So while I'm buying it,
While you're buying it, you're liable to deduct TDS.
how much is that?
That's 1%.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's 1% TDS on it. And when you sell, then there is a specific section in the ITR which is for declaring your gains from VDAs. That is where you disclose the earnings and file your return of income.
So it's in black and white and on paper.
Everything. There's no issue. The only difference, like I said, is that you are having custody of your asset, not hackable.
So then,
and plus the style aspect. You get to wear it if you want to.
Shravan, honestly, I read a lot, of course, in the morning, and I always hear about the income tax officials harassing people that are owning Bitcoin. Why does that happen? And what is different about your system rather than what is going on there?
So, more than income tax offices, I think what even I have read is that there are a lot of government crackdowns, specifically from the end of ED, that are looking into the cryptocurrency transactions of people, because a lot of money laundering is happening. So, as an investor, if you're buying and then selling and disclosing it, absolutely no problem. But if you're taking that cryptocurrency, sending it to someone outside the country for whatever reason, that is prohibited. That is not allowed in our country.
So, in other words, what you're saying is that if I'm buying the Bitcoin through your app, then it's declared.
It's declared, sir. We have applied for a license from FIU India, which is the Financial Intelligence Unit, and once they approve our application, we'll be officially authorized to sell Bitcoin in India, and whatever transaction we do with you or any other person will be taking KYC. We have to follow KYC
Okay.
and AML norms, which is anti-money laundering norms. We have to follow those in order to do any kind of
So
transaction.
not everybody does KYC is why that problem happens. Am I right?
So basically what people are doing is they are using it as a currency instead of an asset. So-
Okay, so they are transferring it to
Others.
unknown
Correct.
entities, and then that's where the
That's where the government has a problem.
I see.
Yes. They are saying that you want to transact, you do it in INR. Do it in any legal tender. This is this is an investment. It is an asset that we're talking about. If you hold it as an asset, government does not have any problem. Just don't use it as a currency. That's where the problem starts.
Okay.
Right. As long as you transfer to your own wallets, let's say in an exchange in order to sell or back to us, then that is not going to be an issue in any way.
I see. That sounds interesting, actually.
Yeah, so that's what we're going for, something interesting.
I've learned a bit from you today.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us.
I'll have to read up a little bit more on this before I buy one Bitcoin.
Yeah, so sure. I'm hoping.
I
that you
will certainly look into it. Read more about it. It's very interesting. I never thought about it before, actually, because I always found it very risky, and I don't know, I was averse to doing things that are too risky. But I think it's manageable risk.
So see, ideally, when you talk about risk, then you have to also look at your portfolio and the amount of risk that you want to take. So when I say that you should invest, I don't mean you should invest 100% of your wealth in it. I want you to invest a part of it, maybe 5%, maybe 10%, whatever it may be, but only a part of your wealth in it, so that when it comes to returns, you have your safe assets, you have a little bit of riskier assets also, but then it comes to returns, then you have higher return from the riskier assets, lower return from the safer assets, but overall you are making a good return.
So like gold, in other words, gold is a direct competitor, I think.
Gold
Not
is
yeah.
the competitor. So gold is the number one asset in the world right now, valued at more than 20 trillion. Bitcoin is at approximately 2 trillion. So
Where does it stand in ranking?
ranking wise, like I said, it stands somewhere around 7th or 8th globally. So when it comes to assets, your first one is gold, it's more than 20 trillion, but the next ones are all below 5 trillion. Uh, all the next few are US tech giants, which are like Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, and then a couple of others are there. Then you have silver also along with it, and then there is Bitcoin. So it had gone up to 5 also in ranking, but then recently it fell a little bit and it has come down to 8th as of now.
So it's a buy right now.
Definitely a buy, yes.
I'll think about it.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so much.
joining us.
Thank you, Shravan, for having me. Thanks.
So, thank you everyone for listening into this podcast, and we hope you join us for the next one as well.